Hello and welcome to today's episode of More Than Just Task Management, your favorite podcast where we help you build a successful business with me, Anna Angelova, business coach and consultant, and my co-host, Jores Minasvan, business consultant. Hey, Jores, good morning.
Hi Anna, good morning.
So today we are focusing on people, the people part of running a business, and it's one of my favorite topics because I am a bookworm. I love learning. Every other year, I go through some kind of a program or something like this, a perpetual learner. And what we wanted to discuss today is your personal growth plan. And yes, this is the personal growth plan for you as the business owner, as the founder, as the leader of the team. And why we are discussing this is because it's really an important topic. And I mentioned it, I think, a couple of times this week already, that you will never, like, your business will never outgrow you. So for you to have $1 million business, you need to become $1 million business owner. For you to have a $10 million business, you need to become a $10 million business owner. Like it's a process where you become that person and then the business grows with you. And you might even have read books like What Got You Here Will Not Get You There. And this is the truth that what gets us to 100,000 is not what gets us to 1 million, not what gets us to 10 million. So as your business grows, or more, it's more about like how you want your business to grow. Like when if you want your business to grow in certain ways, especially 10xing it and going from 100,000 to 1 million to 10 million to 100 million, even $1 billion, you need to grow with it. You need to grow with it. And at some point, you might not be the person actually to take the business from 1 million to 10 million. You might actually step out as uh, an operator and a leader of the business and just be the owner. Like you just are the owner and get someone at the helm who will get your business from 1 million to 10 million. And that's perfectly okay. But the conversation today is actually, I don't want to go too much off topic. The conversation today is all about how do you grow? Like, what's your personal growth plan? And where I wanted to start this discussion, Joris, is with something that I learned from Darren Hardy, is that idea of reading or learning just in case versus just on time. And like sometimes we read books or we go through courses or we do something, or just in case at some point when I'm at a $10 million business, this will be useful. Versus just on time with right now, my business is at 1 million. What we want is to 2x it and get to 2 million this year. And for us to do this, this is what we need. So let me do this. Let me learn this thing. Let me study this. And ultimately, the way it works is you look at what your goals are. And this doesn't apply just for your business, but because here we're talking about business, like you look at your business goals for that year, and then you look at you as the business owner. What do you need to do, and what skills you need to improve so you can lead the business to that new goal? And I love this idea. And personally, as we are uh, like if you're a regular listener, you know that we just started working together in the beginning of March, and a lot of our focus right now is marketing and sales. So my personal growth plan, and especially after doing the mid-year review, when we look back at the past few months and decided what to do going forward, a lot of my effort is focused on marketing and sales, like reading books on sales, on marketing, and learning how to do these things better. So this is where I'm thinking of starting the conversation. And Joris, I want to hear your opinion as well. Like when it comes to growing as a business owner, when it comes to growing, and how do you do this? Like how what do you do to keep on getting better and better and uh, going through those quantum leaps in a way, 10xing ultimately?
Well, before you even get there, I believe that we all love money, right? We all love, we like money. Money is not everything, but it enables us to be happy and make ourselves happy. But we also need to be realistic. At some point, when you, as a leader, as a business owner, uh, decide, oh, I'm gonna 10x my business. I'm gonna go to $10 million a year. You need to understand and ask yourself, am I ready for this? Because mental readiness and even physical and commitment is very important. Once you're ready, and once the answer is yes, you say yes, I am ready to go to that 10x. Then you start preparing yourself, and like you said, Anna, you, instead of owning a $10 million business, you become a $10 million business owner, which is two different things, right? You have to become that 10 million thinker. You have to think beyond, everything that you do today, everything that you're doing has to be either outsourced or rethought. You really have to rethink the way you do things because, like you said, what got you here will not get you there. So I use this sometimes in solving puzzles. I try one way, second way, because I'm fully following my logical path, and then I realize, you know what? Let me do the exact opposite, and I just go around the other way, and I'm like, oh, that made it work. So you have to completely break all the walls the way you we're habitual people, right? We talked about habits before. So these walls that have been built in our mind that I get up in the morning, I do this, I do this, I do this. You have to completely break those walls and start building new roads and new habits and new wall. And I think one of the things that would really help you get there is habits. You have to. There's a lot of the 5 a.m. club and 10 million billionaire club, or they talk about what is the habits of these people that they do to that got them here. It's okay to you need to build your own, but it's okay also to see what other people did and try it, see if that works for you. So it's all about changing the mindset.
Love what you said. There was something that I actually want to focus a little bit on. Like everything you said is so spot on. And yes, like the habits that got you to 100,000 are completely different from the ones that will get you to a million or a 10 million. And like you said, it's also thinking about, are you ready or are you the right person to do this? And as a business owner, one of the things that when you think about your personal growth, you might say, you know what, at some point, like I'm not the person to take this business further, as I said. And one thing you mentioned, Joris, that I want to actually expand on. I know I started the conversation with learning and skills and things like this, but you mentioned, are you ready? And you mentioned like mentally, but also in a way, physically, spiritually as well. And this is such an important part, like your our energy and our well-being, whether it's like emotional or physical well-being. And this is one of the things that I know you are so good at this because it's part of your lifestyle, taking care of your health, exercising every day is part of your style. I'm more uh, again getting into this, feeling a little bit inspired by watching Wimbledon to go out, and especially now that it's summertime, I'm like, no excuse, just get out and go for a run. So I'm starting this, and I just wanted to add this as your personal growth plan. Yes, skills are important. Like, as I mentioned, marketing and sales, for example, are things that I'm focusing on right now. However, this is not the only thing. Your personal growth plan should definitely include your health, your well-being, like your physical, mental, spiritual as well. And it's not just the books, not just the courses and the programs. Accountability groups help you mm, grow. Mindset, mindset, mastermind groups help you grow, help you. Uh, Elevate yourself. Like there is also that idea that the you are the average of the five people you spend the most time with. So who are these people? And if you're business is at $1 million, maybe, and you want to go to 10 million, maybe you want to spend more time with people who do have $10 million businesses, who are running $10 million businesses. And of course, hiring coaches and consultants who also help you with that growth. And again, it's not just the mind, it's not just learning the analytical, logical part. It's like you as a whole human being. And the mindset, Joris, like you said, absolutely spot on. And again, love what you said that when it comes to your personal growth, our personal growth, it's not one dimensional of oh business, 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 because like you don't want to end up in a wheelchair or something like this from overworking, or even worse, like to just fall on the ground one day and that's it. Um, so I am so grateful that you brought this to the
Biggest thing
conversation.
that will come. Sorry about that. I was on mute. I was chatting on mute. Um, the Everybody says, "Oh, such and such CEO makes so much money," but they don't realize the stress that the person goes through. There's a certain level of response. I don't want to call it stress, but it's responsibility that also comes with making that much money. That people who don't have that, they don't realize that it comes. And part of what you mentioned about being physically fit and mentally fit to be able to handle that much money is absolute vital. How many articles have you read about people who win the lottery? They become overnight millionaires. Within 12 months, it's all gone, and some of them end up in jail because they were never millionaires. They were just given money. Being a millionaire, having a multi-million dollar business is a mindset that you have to, and you need to be ready for that. And there's a lot of stress, and if you're not ready, the stress itself will crumble you. Even as a business owner, whether you win it overnight or gain it over a 12-month period or 2-year period, managing and handling millions of dollars is a completely different mindset. So
Yeah.
that's what you need to get ready for.
And that's why like, having a personal growth plan that allows you to uh, step into this, become this person, work on all these aspects of who you are, how you show up, your mindset, your skills, your health and well-being. Like, that's why it's so important. And I do think that as it's as we are launching this episode, it's shortly after the mid-year mark, and we still have 6 months left from this year. And as you're listening to this episode, like this podcast is one way for you to grow, one way for you to mm, learn new things and expand your horizon and expand your mindset, change your mindset even in some ways. And we still have 6 months ahead of us. So this is another of those conversations where I would say it's a sign for you to sit down and think about, okay, it's the middle of the year. This is where I want to be at the end of the year. What do I need to work on personally as the leader? And the thing is that as the business owner, as the leader of the business, you set the example. And you set the example by what you do, not what you say. And as you grow, as you show your team how you work on yourself, how you improve yourself in every aspect of your life, including carving time for your exercise, carving time to eat well, for your nutrition and all these kind of things, your people will start following you. They'll start doing the same thing. They will start adopting those habits as well, where like suddenly they are getting healthier, they are getting sharper, and they are starting to think outside of the box, they are starting to read books and things like this that you are reading. And it's such an honor to be a business owner and a leader, because you set the example for so many people, and it even applies to your own family. as you grow, your family will notice this. And even if they don't say anything, even if there is no like verbal recognition, you start seeing those signs, you start seeing those changes in them as well. So, as I was saying, this is your sign to pause for a moment and develop a plan for yourself. And I would say, because we are, especially when we're excited and motivated, we're like, oh, I would work on this and this and this and this. And from to tomorrow, this is it. I'm a completely changed person. And then we keep this for 2 days and it dies off. Mm, So, as you are developing your personal growth plan, start small. I would say start small. And as much as I would love for you to focus on something that has to do with your health, something that has to do with your mind, like growing your skills, your mindset, I would say start with one and make it work, like make it a routine, at least keep it for a couple of weeks or a few weeks before you introduce the next component, before you introduce, and you can start with the one that's easiest for you. Like if you are, let's say, a reader like me, what you can do is you can start with being more intentional with the books you read. You can say, okay, based on our goals, I actually, what I need to do is to focus on being a better manager, like a better leader. So these are the books I'll read about building a high performing team. And this will allow you to step into a habit that's easier for you. And then once you are getting better at this, then you can say, okay, now for me to be a better manager and a better leader, for example, let me add a little bit of a workout and gradually add these things. Don't overload yourself. And I'm saying this from experience as well, where I'll try to do a lot of things and then suddenly like I'll be able to do this for a couple of days and then everything just goes back to my old habits and routines. So start small and then add things gradually. And if you want to share in the comments, if you want to share what your plan is, what you'll be working on. We would love to hear it. And I'm sure that other listeners would love to hear this as well and to see what we are all working on and how we can keep each other accountable and help each other as well with everything that we're doing as business owners.
Absolutely love it, love it. Lifestyle. Make yourself like when we say become a multimillionaire, that means it's lifestyle. The way you think, the way you open your arms and your heart and accept. It's not just wanting the numbers in your account. Very nice session, Anna. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Joris. I love how you expand the conversation. And I was thinking in one direction, but then you expanded it and opened it in a completely new way. And I really, really love it. And remember, if you're not subscribed yet, subscribe so you don't miss an episode. Tomorrow, we will be back with talking about the sales process to get your first clients. So, if you are, especially if you're just starting your business, uh, finding your first clients is more of a manual process. And actually, even if you have an existing business, if you're struggling with getting clients at the moment, you might want to tune in tomorrow because how you find your first client might actually be how you find your next client, even if you have an established business. And I did mention it earlier in the week that sometimes we forget the fundamentals. And it's good to go back to the fundamentals from time to time and remind ourselves that, oh, wait a minute, this thing worked when I was starting my business. So and suddenly, at some point, we stop doing this, but why not go back to it? Why not reintroduce it as a way of getting clients? So tune in tomorrow as we are talking about how to get your first clients as you are starting the business. And again, this might be useful for you even if you already have an established business and a marketing and sale process in place. So this is it for today, and we'll be back tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of the day.
Thank you. Bye
Thanks,
bye.
Joris. Bye.